With Lindsay, she suffered from depression, and we were unaware of it until 6 months before she took her life. You know, she had a beautiful life. She was a beautiful human being, and to get that for your brain to take over like that, it's really hard to fathom as a parent.
We said, you know, like let's get a group of people together that will really tackle this head on. We had an opportunity to hear Sheldon Kennedy talk, and Sheldon invited us to come to the Child Advocacy Center in Calgary, so we made the tour down there. And so originally when we started the whole coalition, it was to how can we work with the agencies to get some mental well-being, to make it easier for adolescents and adults to be able to access resources to be able to help. So that's where we came up with the Child Advocacy Center, to look at modeling it after what Sheldon did.
My story starts at 8 years old. I was sexually abused by somebody I trusted a lot, and somebody was supposed to protect me and take care of me, and they didn't. In order to deal with all of those feelings of shame and guilt and worthlessness, I turned to alcohol and drugs.
You know, our focus needs to be on the impact. You know, the incidences are scary, but when we understand the impact of mental health, suicide, addiction, depression, I mean, that is critical to understand all of the connections to how one may get there.
We need to work closely with police, hospital, mental health, the Crown Prosecutor's Office.
We have got to make the invisible visible. If you talk about it and you make people aware about it, it's going to bring it to the forefront, and people will say it's not acceptable. Let's work together, building it and saving and creating hope and healing one child, one family at a time.
Dave Hancock, who was the Minister of Human Services, pushed through with the Children's First Act, which is the ability to share information amongst the agencies in the best interest of the child. So we have permission to work together, so why not use it?
It's integrated. They work across the table from each other, so they're saying, what are we going to do for Johnny? You know, how are we going to help him from point A, the first time he says that there's a situation, to how we're going to get him in the healing process and the counseling for not only him but for his family.
By having it, you know, the Child Advocacy Center, we'll be able to triage a patient's situation as a group and come up with a complex care plan that is for that patient and that family. Whereas right now, I feel like we're all doing individual parts and we're not able to come together.
And the role of the Child Advocacy Center is to basically be the quarterback for the people that we serve at the center, and get them connected in community to other organizations that do great work.
Because of our community spirit and will to make the Central Alberta Child Advocacy Center happen, our community is demonstrating a willingness to make the invisible visible.
You live through it. You tell it to an RCP officer who's videoing the interview, and you have to go and do it again. It's emotionally exhausting.
You go to one place, you have one meeting, you triage around a table to come up with a plan for that child. Well, at the end of the day, that saves families time, and it saves those agencies huge amounts of money to be able to, you know, share information and work together in a collaborative way.
The Sheldon Kennedy Center is so open and welcoming to children right from the start. As soon as you get in there, you can just tell that it was made from child focus. They've done it right. It'll be one place for the child to go for talking to the police officers, dealing with child services, Alberta Health, mental health. Everybody's working towards the same goal. So everyone's on the same side and everyone realizes that, right? So I think a lot of those barriers are kind of taken away.
Well, we need the community to know the value of the asset that we're going to bring to Red Deer. The lives that we're going to change and save is going to be immense, because you'll have people being productive in our community, not destructing our community.
This money you pour in now is going to save billions in the long run. You have to think that way. You can't be scared of saying, you know, let's not throw this money into it.
If you're getting a child help and they don't become the perpetrator down the road, Just think of the court costs, the jail costs, the savings is in the probably tens and hundreds of millions now, and it'll be in the billions down the road.
I've been across this country, I've been around the world, and I can't tell you how many people that tell me, we're going to do this, right? And then nothing ever comes out of it. I just applaud Red Deer for doing it.
The truth is, people who experience childhood trauma need our help, and many hands make light work. So the more of us that can get together and do what we can to help, the more people that will be healthy as a result of it.
I cry every day, you know, but she's still here and making a difference.
This center really is going to change Central Alberta. It's going to help victims become survivors. You know, hope, help, and healing. That's what we want. We want the hope for our future. We want the help to get through it, and we want to heal.